Since the year 2000, the Six Nations Championship has given us Grand Slams, last-minute drop goals, colossal captains, terrifying flankers, and an astonishing wealth of talent. It's a dangerous sport, but no Betson, Tyndall, Warburton or Parisi can be considered quite as risky as two English blokes sticking their necks out to pick an all-time Six Nations 15. It's subjective, it's highly debatable, and there's a 100% chance we've already forgotten someone obvious. Let the arguments begin. This is the Sporting Almanac Podcast.
Hello, mate.
Hello, how are you? Been so long.
Yeah, been ages. We're just indulging something we like doing this episode. No rhyme or rhythm to it.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really good way of putting it.
Yeah, just an opportunity to do it whilst recording it, as opposed to just chatting about it. Our all-time 15. We haven't even thought about the format here.
From 26 years of the Six Nations to choose from. See
Yeah.
how we do.
Yeah.
See if you agree.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't think we were so eager just to pick the best 15 as a team that we didn't even discuss whether or not we had to reach an agreement, whether or not we were picking it together. So I think we've both done independent teams, and it will be interesting. Also, actually, can I make a suggestion?
Go for it.
Why don't we start with the coach?
Oh, that is interesting. Do you know why that is interesting? Because I have not even thought about this. I know who the coach should be.
You know who the coach should be?
I think I know who the coach should be.
Yeah, I think so too. Even though I've sprung that upon you, I strongly suspect that we will agree. After 3?
Okay. Go on then.
1, 2, 3. Warren Gatland.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, that was top quality radio, Ben. Well done.
We're off to a flyer. We've got Warren Gatland as our coach. We're not going to consider anybody else, because to do so would be stupid. What he did with Wales was outrageous.
Yeah, and over such a long period, and yeah, to come back and revitalise and the rest, and not even talking about the Lions in there either.
Not even mention the Lions.
Greatest Lions coach of all time.
Yeah, a legend, Warren Gatland.
And he's a funny bloke.
If you disagree, no problem. Have a moan about it on the internet. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you want to go? Do you want to start with the forwards? Do you want to start with the backs?
Oh, we'll go in numerical order, I think.
Numerical order.
Start with the loose head and work down from there.
Yeah.
Because I think loose head's a no-brainer. I think loose head's an absolute no-brainer. I don't know if you have any thoughts on this, but...
Oh, interesting. Okay, I had 2 names down for loose head, unless I've got my loose heads and tight heads muddled up. So who if you've got no-brainer, who are you going for?
Gethin Jenkins.
Yeah, he was one of my 2. And I think he is the right call. The other one on my list, only out of affection and bias, because
I think I know who it'll be.
Because he creeped into the Six Nations consideration, but that's not really what his bedrock of his career was sort of in the 90s. And so Jason Leonard was the other one that I had.
Jason Leonard was I was second on my list, yeah, and then Cian Healy.
Yeah.
Just put a third in, but yeah, Jason Leonard was a legend. He was England's most capped player for many, many years, has been overtaken by a couple of players since, or at least a couple of players, maybe more. But that's because they're playing more rugby nowadays. But he bridged the gap from amateur to professional, was in England's World Cup winning squad, came off the bench in the final. So yeah, legend. But Gethin Jenkins, the amount of success he had in that position, the longevity he had in that position, the amount of caps he won as a front row forward, given the amount of damage that does to you, incredible.
Yeah.
Huge respect.
The dominance, in the profession of scrummaging.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, masterful technique. He wasn't necessarily the biggest prop in the world as well. He was a big bloke, obviously. I'm not marking him down. I think he was about 6'2", but relatively speaking, you get some absolute tanks in that position. He wasn't necessarily that, but he was a master at the art of scrummaging. So yeah, no-brainer.
No-brainer. I agree. So we've got our number 1, Gethin Jenkins. Number 2, I only had one name.
I think there's an obvious choice here. I do think there's a few people you need to give consideration to, but I would say Keith Wood for this, personally.
That's exactly who I have down as well. Yeah, an actual legend. But who are your mentions in dispatches then, if you had some?
Well, certainly Rafael Ibanez, I think, deserves a mention.
Fair.
There's a few other names that you can bring up, but
yeah, there are a few. There are a few other names, but like I don't think you can look very easily or very quickly past Keith Wood. I mean, I really like. This is so premature, so I'm not actually arguing for his inclusion, but I really like Dan Sheehan as a rugby player, current hooker of Ireland.
It was on my list.
He is unbelievable. He's not. He doesn't play like a hooker, and he was incredible. He's been incredible for the Lions. Not that this is a Lions pick, but you know what I mean. Yeah. So I would have probably had him, and then you could make a case for like 100 cap Jamie George or someone, but really it's Keith Wood.
Yeah, I've got Rory Best, William Savat, Ross Ford on my list, Steve Thompson, but Dylan Hartley as well. But yeah, realistically, Keith Wood. He was the first ever World Rugby Player of the Year in 2001. He's a Hall of Famer for World Rugby. He was a real all-round player. Most tries ever by a Tier 1 hooker, because I think there's an American chap called Joe Tafeti, who's actually beaten that record now, but I'll stipulate by a Tier 1 hooker. He's a legend. And he's iconic as well. Obviously, when we're starting watching the game, he was an icon. Great speaker as well, and very involved in television as well. So, yeah, love him.
Yeah, nice.
Good choice.
Good choice. We're doing pretty well here for agreement.
Agreement, yeah.
Yeah. Tight head then, number 3.
I think it's one of 2.
Ooh, I've got 3 names, and I've got a soft spot for 1.
Ooh, I'm interested to know who your third is.
I've got a soft spot for 1, and I don't think it's going to be one of the 2 names that you've got. So why don't you say the 2 that I'm anticipating you're going to say?
You know what? I'm going to say 3 names because there's one who missed out slightly. I'm going to say, so there's Tyke Furlong.
Yeah.
Is the first one.
Yeah.
Adam Jones.
Yeah.
Is the second. And I'm also going to say Martin Castrogiovanni.
That's who I have. Well. I want Castrogiovanni in. I love him.
As soon as you said that, I was like, I bet you're talking about Castrogiovanni.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I will include him because he's on my list as well. I've got Weenie Antonio, Cal Sinclair, Dan Cole as just sort of mentions, but Phil Vickery, Nicholas Mass, but yeah.
Yeah.
Castrogiovanni, Jones, Furlong.
I've got Castrogiovanni for me, but do you know what it is? It's because he's an unbelievable scrummager. He's a pretty mobile dude. He looked like an absolute warrior. He's got 119 Italian cap.
He had a lot, yeah.
And to stand out in a scrum that got battered, and in a struggling Italian side, like, you got to be special, man.
Yeah, and did well in the English game as well, and the European game accordingly with Leicester.
Yes. So I want him in because I got a soft spot for him. But if you preferred Jones or Furlong, it's very difficult to make an argument against that.
I'm more than happy to let you override me on this one. He was on my list. I just had him third.
It's a harder debate, isn't it? Tight head than loose head. That's the point.
Yes, I think so.
But yeah, I mean,
sod it, Castrogiovanni. Stick him in.
They're going to upset quite a lot of Welshmen and Irishmen there.
I think there's going to be plenty of other Welsh and Irishmen, but not so many other Italians.
Yeah.
Not 0, but not so many other Italians.
Not 0, but yeah. Let's do 4 and 5 together. I don't think it really matters which side of the lot you are. This is hard.
No, not at all, but this is the hardest. I think there's 4 candidates, and they're 4 candidates who are all Grand Slam winning captains, and I think 3 of the 4 stand out, but picking 2 of those 3 is really difficult. Do you want me to just name them and stop being cryptic?
Yeah.
Paul O'Connell, Alan Wynne-Jones, Martin Johnson, and Fabian Pellew.
Yes, I think that is a very good 4-man shortlist. I think now that you've said it out loud, I'm second guessing myself. Genuinely,
who have you got?
So I left Alan Wynne-Jones out and Pellew out, and I went O'Connell and Johnson.
So did I. Yeah.
I don't know. Now I'm doubting myself about Alan Wynne, though. Alan Wynne is the one that's...
Are we biased on that? Alan Wynne-Jones, he's a workhorse. He's a legend. He's a leader.
He's a leader.
Grand Slam winning captain and part of other Grand Slam winning teams under Warburton. Welsh people are going to hate us. I mean, that's a double whammy for the Welsh there.
Yeah, that is. To go back to back ignoring Adam Jones and then Alan Wynne-Jones is pretty rogue, isn't it?
There are going to be more Welsh players to come.
There are, but like that O'Connell and Johnson is formidable, though. Yeah, I'm gonna...
O'Connell and Wynne-Jones is formidable.
Sometimes
O'Connell and Pellew, or Pellew and Johnson, or...
Yeah, no, of course, but we're talking...
You know, the worst thing is we have to leave one of these off the bench.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Well,
you're not carrying 2 locks on the bench.
No, my 3 would be O'Connell, Johnson and Alan Wynne-Jones, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick to it, and I'm going to say Alan Wynne's coming off the bench anyhow. So, this isn't going to be an issue. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna face the wrath of the Welshmen if they can be bothered to engage. Yeah. That's mine. O'Connell and Johnson.
I don't think they're listening to Six Nations podcast at the moment. Don't worry about it.
Number 6, blindside. Not that it really matters these days.
I mean, as much as I like the likes of Richard Hill or Martin Williams, I think it's got to be Dusatois.
Yeah, Thierry
for this one, personally.
I had him as well. Captain of France. Yeah, just scything people. Brilliant leader. Brilliant winner. Brilliant player. I mean, that's extremely generic, those compliments I'm paying him. But we've just done an episode on France, and he was at the centrepiece of that dominant period in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Dusatois for me.
Easy. Another agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7?
Again, I would say, as much as I love the likes of Neil Back or Serge Betton, another one that we mentioned, I think this has to, and I'm not just throwing a bone to the Welsh show, I think this has to be Sam Warburton at 7.
I was about to make a joke about overlooking Sam Warburton deliberately, but it's very, that would be a silly thing to do. It is obviously going to be Sam Warburton, isn't it?
I mean, there's plenty of other ones you can mention, like Justin Tipurich and Hamish Watson, whatever, but yeah, I would say got to be Warburton.
Yeah. I don't think that was much of a contest, to be honest. Like Lions captain as well, won a load of Six Nations, part of that Gatland side, the semi-final. Getting to that Welsh team, getting to the semi-final in 2011. Obviously, he got sent off in that game, but yeah, unlucky, really. Probably, maybe not won that World Cup, but with 15 against 15 and a Sam Warburton on that pitch, is that a Welsh World Cup final?
It's always going to be something they look back on and wonder, because you can always win a one-off game of Test rugby if you bring it and you get lucky and you deliver right, and that could have been the World Cup final. So, yeah. It's always going to be one they look back on.
Yeah.
Number 8.
And we're
going to agree on this.
Yeah, okay.
I know we're going to agree on this.
Yeah, we are going to agree on this. I mean, let's run through a couple of names. Lawrence Dallaglio, powerhouse, part of that England 2003 Slam team, World Cup winning pack, a legend in the English game. Harron Ordeke, who we spoke about, very athletic, kind of changed the model, if you like, of the number 8 of that era. Scott Quinnell, often overlooked. Scott Quinnell.
I snuck him on my list, yeah. It was very early days of the Six Nations, but he did play, I think, 3 Six Nations tournaments, and he was a Welsh legend even before the Six Nations. So, yeah. Definitely worth a mention.
Peakamall, destructive.
Yeah.
Took over from Harron Ordeke. Talk about going like number 8 to number 8 there for France. But yeah, look, I know where we're going with this. We're going back to Italy. Italia, Sergio.
The gladiator, yeah. Sergio Parise. The amount of caps he had for Italy and the amount of caps as captain and the amount of Six Nations
69
games he played as captain.
69 straight apps. All starts.
Nice.
Mental.
He's incredible. And if you're going to get representation from all countries, I know we have Pacastrio Giovanni in as well, but I wasn't expecting to put Pacastrio Giovanni on. And I don't think it's not just representative. He is thoroughly deserved at number 8, Sergio Parise.
Yeah, Sergio Parise for me too. We are aligned.
As we are at 9.
I think now we're getting to the back, so I think this will get it. Yeah, I mean, we're going to be agreed at 9, but like I do think this is where it starts to get a little bit spicy.
There's some positions here where I don't know where we're going to go. One in particular, which I think is so open, but we'll come to that.
Yeah. I mean, look, we're probably going to end back up in France. So let's start in France. Jean-Baptiste Elissalde, we spoke about earlier on the French episode.
Yeah.
He obviously is worth a mention. Matt Dawson is worth a mention.
Yeah.
Can we leave it there? Just say it's Antoine Dupont?
It is Antoine Dupont, obviously. I was going to say Mike Phillips is probably worth a mention.
Yeah.
Maybe even Fabien Gaultier.
Both good shout-outs for sure. I really liked Mike Phillips because he's another player who sort of changed the profile of a scrum half because he was massive and he was very physical.
Yeah.
But Antoine Dupont is both like not that big,
otherworldly,
but is insanely strong, is like insanely skillful, just does everything. Unbelievable player.
You can't take your eyes off him for a second because you'll regret it, because he can run into what looks like the tightest space in the world and either come out of it on the other side or tee someone off, just offloading at the perfect moment or putting a kick through or whatever it might be. He's wonderful to watch.
I agree. I never tire of watching him, frankly, and never shall until the day he retires. Okay, 10, because you and I exchanged texts on 10, because I thought that this was a banker, and you...
Yeah, I said Jonny. Obviously, it's Jonny.
Yes, it is Wilkinson.
Well, may. Has Jonny Wilkinson ever dropped a 45-metre drop goal to win a crucial... He probably has, to be fair, if we look back through the records.
Yeah.
No, it is Jonny Wilkinson. Like, I'm going to be deadly
You had the
serious.
audacity to suggest that it was Johnny Sexton. You said it was going to be someone called Jonny.
I think what you're missing is the fact I was winding you up.
And it successfully wound me up. It's Wilkinson.
Jonny Wilkinson's... I can't speak. Such an incredible legend of the game. He transcended the sport in England at the period. He was so reliable and so trusted, and his loss when he got injured after the 2003 World Cup and he missed a few years, patchy in and out of the team because of injury, it did make a huge difference to my enjoyment of the game and England's success in the game. He's just wonderful. He's just the calmest man I've ever seen play rugby in my life.
He was dual-footed.
Yeah.
Like, he used to smoke people from 10.
Yeah.
And he was far more skillful and attacking out of hand than he's given credit for, because his kicking was so metronomic. People don't really appreciate how wonderful he was ball in hand.
I think he was deceptively quick. I don't think he was necessarily that quick with his feet, but he was so calm and thoughtful on the ball. His decision-making was so good that it gave him a pace that maybe doesn't stand out as much as someone like Marcus Smith does nowadays. It's not fleet of foot, it's fleet of brain, and his execution was wonderful. And he's just, that World Cup final, I know we're not talking about the World Cup, but the kick, the winning drop goal with your weaker foot, having chucked a big dump tackle earlier in the game, having kicked so consistently during the game as well. He's wonderful.
Yeah. He's a shoo-in for me.
There's plenty of people worth a mention.
Yeah, let's mention a couple of others. You got Rowan O'Gara, obviously, top point scorer in the championship for a long time. I don't think he is anymore. Or maybe he is. I don't know. Rowan O'Gara's got a lot of points. Johnny Sexton, obviously. He's actually, I think it is Sexton, maybe, who's got it.
I think it probably will be, yeah.
Yeah. Owen Farrell.
Stephen Jones.
Had an incredible win rate, Owen Farrell. Yeah, Stephen Jones is a very, very underrated 10, for sure.
Finn Russell as well.
Finn Russell, mate. Like, if Scotland were better and if Finn Russell hit his finest form sooner in his career, I could be persuaded that he's a showman. He's a great entertainer. He can do miraculous stuff. I love him. What am I talking about? He wouldn't knock Wilkinson off the perch, but I do really like Russell.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're settled. Wingers, are we doing both wingers or are we just doing the 11?
Nah, let's do 11 first. Let's keep going numerically.
What is it? Is it left wing?
Left wing, yeah.
I don't think it really matters.
It doesn't massively matter.
Yeah, where would I go with this? This is tough.
To me, it's a difficult one because it's a difference between what they did during their career and then are they genuinely better than modern wingers? Because my thought for this is Shane Williams, who is a legend, who had incredible output and achievement during his career. But then you put him up against a Louis Bielsa, for example, and it's like, is he actually a better player?
Yeah.
Does he translate to the modern game?
No, I agree. He was a bit of a... How to describe Shane Williams' impact on rugby? He's a throwback.
Yeah?
Shouldn't have done as well as he did in a very physical era of rugby. That Welsh team in particular was very physical. And he scored a boatload of tries, fleet of foot. So I can see the case for him. I have George North on my wingers shortlist because he's a juggernaut.
I do as well.
At one point he was unstoppable, he was unplayable. And then we mentioned some of the French guys previously, like Vincent Clerc is a very good example.
It's on my list.
Damien Penaud.
So's another one who's probably very different from the modern game in Jason Robinson.
See, yes, Robinson is... I have him earmarked elsewhere.
I was about to say, we'll put a pin in Robinson and we'll come back to him.
Yeah. But I'd have... Doesn't matter if we're picking left or right wing. On my sheet, I've got Penaud at left wing.
Yeah,
for the time being.
I can accept that.
I just think that try-scoring record, and he's not done. I know he's currently dropped, but he's not done, is too wild to leave out.
I think even if he was done, it's probably probably a fair shout on the whole. I mean, we've been very harsh on Wales so far, and I don't want to use this as a reason for keeping Williams in. I should say, we'll skip to the other winger straight away. I have George North on my other wing.
Same.
I do think that North should be in on the right. I am happy to put Penno in on the left instead of Williams for anticipating the wrath of Welsh fans everywhere. But I think, on balance, I think that is probably fair.
We can't pick your 2011 Welsh team, Wales. Sorry. You weren't that good.
Indeed.
Yeah, George North and Penno are my two wingers. That's what I've got for the Six Nations.
Accepted.
12 then. Now this is where we get into real debate territory, the midfield.
I think there's so many players you can put in at 12. I do think one stands out, and I'm going to say it wasn't a close decision for me. I do think one is slightly ahead of the rest, but you're talking, God, so many people you can put in at 12. I mean, obviously from that classic England team, you could put Greenwood or Tyndall in, because I'm still not sure which played inside and outside centre out of the pair of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Jamie Roberts as well, Gordon Darcy, Owen Farrell even.
Yeah, he could. 12. Yeah, that's true.
Bandy Aki.
Who's your 12 then?
Who's my 12?
Yeah.
Yannick Josian.
Yeah, okay.
I think.
Yes, I like it. Do you know what? Now that you say it, it's one of those ones where, I don't know. No, you're probably right. What am I? I got.
Who did you have at 12?
I got bogged down in Roberts and Aki, and I couldn't, and I got fixated on deciding between those two that I perhaps didn't pay enough attention to Josian.
I think that would be my call, but it feels like every time we do this, we have a choice between a Welshman and someone else, and we pick the someone else, and I don't want to use that as a reason for picking Roberts. Roberts is a legend, and Roberts, next to the guy that we're inevitably going to put at 13, is quite the legendary combination as well. So I would actually be happy to go with Roberts, if that's your preference.
It's not my preference, mainly because I also am attracted to the idea of winding the Welsh up more.
That does sound like you.
Yeah, I'm just having a look. Do you know what? The reason I'm hesitating is I've gone to the Josian stats just to have a look.
Well, that was your first mistake.
6'4". Yeah, he's in. Monster.
That's a proper inside centre.
Yeah, played for Toulouse as well. Like incredible career actually.
Jamie Roberts is 6'5".
Yeah, I know, but he's less dynamic than Josian. Jamie Roberts hasn't got 3 Heineken Cups, mate.
Honestly, the size of rugby players never fails to amaze me.
Oh no,
6'5" and 17 stone, Jamie Roberts, and he can move like that.
Yeah, no, I'm convinced. I'm going to go with you. That was an oversight on my part. You are right. Josian in 13 now.
Shall we mention other people first?
I only want to mention one. Because I actually genuinely started doubting Bod when I started thinking about this player, and hopefully this will repair some of the political relations with our Welsh colleagues, brothers and sisters. I think Jonathan Davies is an unbelievable rugby player, and I almost convinced myself that he should go ahead of Bod.
He's second on my list.
He's unbelievable.
But he shouldn't go ahead of Bod. Yeah, unbelievable, and I have no doubt whatsoever. Lions legend, Wales legend, nearly 100 caps for Wales.
4 Six Nations titles, 2 slams.
Yeah.
Player of the series on the 2017 Lions tour.
Yeah, but we're going to pick Brian O'Driscoll at the end of this. I do like how you're making the case, and I'm sure there's Welsh people appreciate it. And Davies will be on the bench, and he will be a potent weapon off the bench. But it's Bod, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it is annoying. Do you know what it is, actually? Now we're really analysing it. O'Driscoll was just so good going forward.
Yeah.
Like such a good attacker. And had all the hallmarks of every other good defensive outside centre, but was just really damn special going forward. Could do stuff that not many 13s before him, if any, could do. So you're right. But yeah, I really like Jonathan Davies.
I do too.
If you were picking with your heart, if I was picking with my heart, I'd probably go Davies. But picking with my head, I'm going O'Driscoll.
I hope that's enough Welsh fans. Just to remind you, right wing, George North.
Yes.
We got ahead of ourselves there.
And then number 15.
I think this is the one I mentioned before. I think there's so many candidates here.
Yeah.
I have picked someone. You talk me through your thoughts.
What, in terms of, it's just Jason Robinson, mate. I've never seen anything like him. He's not in a dissimilar category for me as players like O'Driscoll. Josion, Wilkinson, in terms of like redefining the position and like the impact they had. Like when he came over from rugby league, it was sensational. Some of the runs and tries and assists he got, just an unbelievable player. Like,
careful about the assists. We're trying not to piss off Welsh fans too much.
But like, yeah, World Cup quarter-final. I think he just, oh mate, do you know what it is? He made me fall in love with rugby. Like, if you're a purist, it's so hard not to think Hugo Robinson. He could do everything for a little bloke.
Do you know why I know you're being so sincere right now? And not that I would ever doubt that you're being sincere, but I want to emphasise this to anyone listening, how sincere you're being. Because he's up against some serious candidates, people who I know you like at fullback. Blair Kinghorn, obviously, being one that you've mentioned a few times during this series. And probably Thomas Ramos as well.
Thomas Ramos, brilliant player.
Who's very, very good, who we mentioned. And then there's like Rob Kearney and Hugo Keenan, Maxime Madar with his Wolverine mutton chops. Proper candidates. Lee Halfpenny, Chris Parson.
Stuart Hogg, if you want to throw into the Scots.
No.
Because he beats up women.
We're not mentioning him. Yeah. No. We're not mentioning him. But yeah. I mean, that's how I know you're being serious. And I don't hate it. Robinson was actually originally my number one. I've changed at the last minute and I thought about it and I thought, I think I'm thinking too much like this needs to be a team, an all-round balanced team. And I put Ramos in. But no, probably Robinson. Yeah. Sod it.
Yeah, there are some major...
a bunch of entertainers.
Major talents at this position. I mean, even if you go all the way back to like Jordan Murphy.
Yeah.
Like people like that. But I just think that, imagine the X factor, like Robinson outside O'Driscoll.
I mean, that would be a hell of a team on the counter-attack, wouldn't it? Jesus.
God, Penno, Robinson and George North marauding from the back as a back three is pretty spectacular. Yeah, look, that's... my heart lies with Robinson. I don't think I can shift. So that completes our 15 and our coach, with a couple of people thrown onto the bench because we could, we just have to find a place for them. No Scottish players. So Wales,
did we not?
Wind your necks in if you've been offended by our selections. You have
whoops a daisy.
No Scottish players. We've gone Wales, Ireland, Italy, Ireland, England, France, Wales, Italy, France, England, France, Ireland, Wales, England.
I don't think any Scottish players came close.
No.
In the harshest way possible.
No.
And it's not to say there haven't been really good Scottish players. There's been Scottish players who would be top 3, 4, 5 in almost every position, but not like top 2, not like either or kind of, I would say. Yeah, probably fair.
It is fair.
It just so happens that Italy have produced a couple of absolute worldies who deserve their place in the team. But yeah.
The closest the Scots genuinely get is your Kinghorn mention, but
yeah,
that's a tough jersey. And then Russell, but he's up against the GOAT.
Yeah.
So,
And any chance that Stuart Hogg had went the moment he turned into a cunt.
Yeah. That's true.
Basically. And that's the last we'll mention him.
This is a side of good blokes. Yeah, and then we went for Kiwi as our coach, so,
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Also fair.
Who's captain?
Excellent question. Dusatoir, Johnson, or O'Connell for me, or Warburton. Fuck me, any of them. Really.
I think Warburton.
Or Parise. Oh, my God.
Parise.
Parise.
Oh, I could go Parise.
Oh, my goodness me, that's hard.
I could go Parise. I don't think it's any of the backs.
It's not any of the backs. You could make a case for Bod, but...
Bod, yeah, or even Jonny, but no.
Too much on Johnny's shoulders. I don't want Jonny burdened. You just focus on kicking those goals, my boy. O'Driscoll as well. I don't want him. I don't want him suppressing that flair with responsibility. I want a forward doing forward things.
Go controversial and give it to Keith Wood.
No. It's Keith Wood. That's a great lieutenant, but when you've got O'Connell, Johnson, Dusatoir, Warburton, and Parise, oh God, that is hard.
I think Warburton or Parise, but that might be because I don't want to be seen as being biased by saying Johnson.
Yeah, it's really difficult. O'Connell and Johnson are going to be leaders anyway.
Yeah.
It's probably the same for Dusatoir.
Johnson wasn't actually England captain for that long.
No.
Really, relatively speaking.
No, just a legendary one for obvious reasons.
Obvious reasons, yeah.
I do agree with you about Warburton. He is a it depends on whether or not you. I agree with Warburton. I'm going to go Warburton. I was going to say Parise. You nearly convinced me Parise because of the passion and the energy that you'd get from Sergio. But I think you need that cool head making those decisions. So and Warburton is nothing if not that. And the others will be there in an advisory capacity anyway.
Indeed. I mean, whenever you're picking a combined team like this, you're always going to end up with a bunch of leaders in. So yeah, I think that team beats anyone. Ever. So
well, we could do a Southern Hemisphere one and pit them against that.
Let's not. Not right now.
Not today. Yeah, but that's our Six Nations 15 of all time.
I have one more question for us to just delve into really quickly at the end here. I'm not going to say rank them because that's it will take too long, and I'm not going to say pick your least favourite because that's obvious. What do you think is the best Six Nations anthem?
National anthem.
Yeah, national anthem.
It's not us, so we're down to 5.
No, we're the worst.
So we're the worst.
We're
down to 5. It's not Ireland.
Well, it's not Ireland's call. I think Soldier Song's very good, but it's too vague. So yeah, I put them 5th.
Yeah,
but the other 4 are really hard to pick between.
It's not Scotland. I'm not having whinging about some fighting 1,000 years ago.
700 years ago, Ben. Let's not exaggerate.
Pre-Union stuff. Let's put it that way.
Shall I give you some of the lyrics? Because we know the tunes, but shall I give you some of the lyrics to give you some influence? And please, everyone keep this in mind compared to God Save Our Gracious King. May He reign over us.
Yeah, go on.
And that bullshit. Let us unite. We are ready to die. Italy calls is how that anthem starts. And it ends, we have been for centuries stamped on and laughed at because we are not one people, because we are divided. Let us unite under one flag, one dream, to melt together. Already our time has come.
Stirring. You've quoted some of the French already, which is let's soak our fields in their blood.
Do you hear in the countryside the roar of those ferocious soldiers? They're coming right into your arms to cut the throats of your sons, your comrades. To arm, citizens, form your battalions. Let's march, that their impure blood should water our fields. La Marseillaise.
It's pretty aggressive.
And the Welsh is, the land of my fathers is dear to me, land of poets and singers and people of stature. Her brave warriors, fine patriots, shed their blood for freedom. Which I think is chill in a not chill way. But it's quite Welsh. I like that.
I really do like Land of Our Fathers. It's a very good song.
Yeah.
But I do think that for ferv and like spirit and...
I think there's only one answer here.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Out of Italy and France.
I think there's one of these is the best national anthem in the world.
I think you're probably going to say Italy, but I'm going France. Yeah, I'm going France.
The Marseillaise is the best national anthem in the world.
Yeah,
it is superb. It's to me, it has everything. The tune is iconic. The lyrics are get your blood flowing, and like, how can you not be ready to run through a brick wall? How can you not be ready to fight after hearing that? Compared to May he ever God save the king.
Me and you have often lobbied.
Sort it out, people.
For
anything else?
No, what was it? Two fatherlands?
I vow to be my country. Yeah,
I vow to be my country. That's it. Yeah.
So I vow to be my country is to me the best because the lyrics to it were written in memory of the soldiers who died in the First World War, set to a tune which is Gustav Holst, who, despite his name was English, from Jupiter from the Planet Sweets. It's a great combination. I think it's beautiful. I take Jerusalem, but Jerusalem's a bit, I don't know, basic.
Yeah,
I would say.
I agree. It's a good song to sing at the cricket, but
it's better than God Save the King, though.
But I vow to thee, my country is the one.
I vow to be my country. Superb.
Yeah, that's what should be the English national anthem, but isn't. I think we got to the right 2, and I agree with you that France leads the way.
Every other national anthem in history has tried to live up to La Marseillaise. It just so happens God Save the King is probably older in it.
There's a few good ones. The Argentinian one is good.
Yeah.
The New Zealand national anthem is good.
I do like the American national anthem.
Yeah.
And how much they cream themselves at Land of the Free.
How long they hold the free for just that little bit too long. To be fair, it is a good national anthem. But look, they don't compete in the Six Nations. So even if we were making this a global competition, which we're not, the French emerge victorious in the ranking of the national anthems.
Good decision we made together, which I feel like I just railroaded you into that. But
no, I agree with you. We got to the same shortlist of 2, And then I was debating between the Italian and the French, but the French does win.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, well, the Six Nations closing there.
Indeed. So, what's next?
That's 2BC.
Yeah. No.
We are a bit disorganised currently, but we'll get back on track soon enough. Plenty of sport coming our way. League Cup, baseball season restarting, Formula One season rumbles on. So we'll pick something.
Yeah, we'll definitely get some more Formula One episodes out because, firstly, it's going to be a really interesting season, even if it's not a really interesting season on the track, because it's looking like it's not going to be. But there's a lot going on to talk about.
Yeah. Not
Not least the fact they're cancelling 2 of the races.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia and Bahrain, inevitably.
Yes. But yeah, we'll come back with the next episode. We'll have the England post-mortem either out before this or after this, and then it will be a long one again. A feature episode.
Indeed. Probably on baseball.
Which we love to talk about because, Jack, it's hard
It's impossible
not to be
romantic about baseball.
All right, let's leave it there. Speak to you in a bit, mate.
Speak to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you again for tuning back into the Almanac for another episode from our Six Nations series. The tournament may be over, but we've still got one more episode to come later on this week. Please, if you can drop us a comment, a like or a follow, that would be great. Please do tell your friends about us too, even if they're French. Our theme tune is Oh Yeah by Home Only Productions. You can find us on Instagram and Blue Sky at The Sporting Almanac. We'll see you soon for another episode. Until then, whether you enjoyed our selections today or you're Welsh, sport is nothing without the history that makes it. No star.